Here we go. Zenyatta Goats versus Zenyatta Goats. Okay. Rotating out to the top first. Or, sorry, pathing out to the top. Seoul already taking a lot of damage. Bumper just slightly backing off. Seoul's taking a lot of damage in the neutral. Hanzo taking a bit of damage, but doesn't quite get taken out. Seoul looked to have the original advantage in terms of positioning, but Vancouver just kind of drops down in parallel and takes position on the point. Is Marvel going to try and contest this? He is, and he does get some nice swings onto both Oxel. Ooh. I need to talk faster. Too many things happened there. It was a good engage from Marvel. Managed to take out Oxel, but Fleta also got taken out as well, and then that hammer. Turn this down a bit. Okay.
She pops out, and the longer you wait to eliminate her, that means it takes longer to respawn, and you get more control percent built up. That's a nasty stagger, right?
Okay, Sumin Su has Grav 40% ahead of Fitz. That's pretty impressive. So you can see that Jano's just trying to scout that out. So Jano's in a great spot to try and figure out where exactly Seoul Dynasty is pathing. Sumin Su firing a right click. You know, if that gets a damage marker, you also know they're rotating. So scouting with a really good position on the Diva, as well as Zarya's right clicking, just trying to get some information as well. Just the little things from Vancouver. Zunba's going to be in trouble, get demeched, and at least he's not going to get staggered. Throws himself into the water. Didn't have to use any ultimates other than just... Oh no, they did use trance. Why did they use trance? I missed that.
Take a look at this replay right here. Haksal gonna come in, use the Brigitte ultimate, which is the rally to give extra armor, and there's a nice stun with the...
So they tranced after the hammer was stunned. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, Fitz does have the Grav now, but so does Sumin Su. Seoul Dynasty did get out of that. Vancouver didn't rotate in time. Hammer gets blocked, Grav comes out, everybody's super low, there comes the bomb. It's late though, and they move away from it. Counter Grav comes out, Hammer is going to prevent Fleta from being able to stun it, but it doesn't matter because Bumper and Slime both get taken out before the bomb drops anyway. So that is going to be Soul's cap.
They do, and basically that means the Vancouver Titans...
This is airing on ABC? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so Vancouver Titans doesn't really have much for the retake except for the rally. It would be fine to use. You know, they're ahead of Fleta, not by any appreciable amount, so it doesn't really matter, but rally into rally would be pretty good. So Seoul Dynasty is going to fall back, and then probably once they get their own rally up, which Fleta didn't proc his Inspire, which sucks. So, because Fleta... Oh, Fleta... Well, you got the hammer there, but, like, one of the more difficult parts of playing the Brigitte is that you have to be able to proc your Inspire, and that just means activate your Inspire. Like, proc is a specific slang terminology, whatever you want to call it, but in order to proc that, you have to find a target that you can actually hit with your whip, because your whip will proc or activate the Inspire, and that's like really important. Without that, you don't heal people like the Lucio. So that entire fight, Fleta was at 90% to his rally, and because Vancouver Titans rallied early, they were falling back, and Fleta, all he needed to do was whip somebody like a Diva or like a Reinhardt when he drops his shield, but he didn't hit that, so they're not getting the AoE heals. They're falling back. They took a lot of cleave damage, but they don't have Inspire up to kind of like keep them topped up, so they couldn't even counter push. They didn't get 10% to rally, and they just lost because of it. What does PROC stand for? Procedure Programmed Random Occurrence? I think that's what PROC stands for. Slime is so good.
It's looking rough again for Seoul. They're trying to scramble, but as the point unlocks here, Vancouver Titans going to take it again easily.
And when you win a fight like that, you're going to get your ultimate abilities a lot faster. The more damage you deal, the more healing you do, the faster you're charging those ults. So when you win a fight, as you can see, Haksal already with the blue.
Haksal has rally. Nobody else. Haksal, very nice. Getting that rally already. Twilight has 80% to trance over Fitz. So Fitz is landing some right clicks, getting that charge difference between him and Suman Subek. There's the rally. Toby gets caught out of position. Why was he in that position anyway? So he wasn't trying to go for like a boop shatter or anything because he didn't have shatter. Was he just trying to like isolate Bumper? Seems like a pretty, like, isolating a main tank can work good against passive teams, and it probably would have worked a lot better against New York. But against Vancouver, when a team is basically wanting to bum rush you anyway, especially after the trigger of rally, it should almost be expected that you're almost assisting them by making their forward movement faster. Okay, coming in, Fitz actually does have the grab first, but Twilight has had a trance for a long time now, so it's going to be difficult to connect it. There's the Speed Shatter. Excellent play. Speed Shatters are sneaky, insidious things that are very difficult. Fitz gets his Graviton eaten. That was their best chance, but Sumansu's Grav is also eaten. Marvel gets taken out. Bumper's just charging into Narnia, and Fleta gets destroyed once again. Double Grav eat all across the sky. Nice stuff.
Yeah, and when we see those ultimates absorbed by the D.Va defensive matrix, they get eaten. They just disappear from the game. So it's, you know, getting one of those ults down is a huge boon. Both of them going.
Okay, what does Seoul have for the retake? They have Bomb. Are they going to, like, Speed Bomb or something? Or try and, like, Shatter Bomb is so hard to plan and actually execute on purpose. Shatter comes out. It hits one, Janu, but that's not really enough to... There's Janu's bomb is being answered back. Barrier is wearing out. Zunba is kind of like on an angle there. Defense Matrix is the micro missiles from Janu. Again, one's on this angle. I'm not exactly sure what Zunba is looking for here. They had to use their barrier, but they're coming up on Transcendence, which is good. Suman Su is at 75%. Okay, so Rouge Hong used Transcendence, and Suman Su is about 10% away from Graviton. So if they don't win in about the next 5 seconds, Seoul Dynasty is going to lose. There's the grab, there's the bomb, but it doesn't get launched into the position they want to because it actually gets grabbed, and then Vancouver just runs them over. Okay, well, Busan's out of the way, and that was pretty commandingly in favor of the Vancouver Titans. Not bad. Seoul could be playing better. Hopefully it's just a warm-up round for them. Vancouver also not looking kind of like indestructible, but definitely looking better than Seoul Dynasty. Okay, Seoul Dynasty is attacking with the Sombra Goats, having subbed Fisher in for Marvel. Vancouver Titans is defending with the Zenyatta Goats. Okay, let's see what you got, friends. Well zoomed. Okay. What is Seoul Dynasty's rotation going to be here? Michelle is throwing the translocator back to main. Get rid of the intermission screen? My bad. I was distracted with changing lenses. Don't worry about it. What are you doing, Seoul? And why is it nothing? Okay. I'm not... Bumper dropped and ran to alley? Sort of a bit of a dance here between the two teams, the attackers and defenders on this point a lot of times. Like, Seoul Dynasty had Sombra, though, and Vancouver Titans was holding the high ground with D.Va. There's no reason they should have given up the high ground that easily, unless I'm severely misunderstanding this matchup. Yeah, that's going to trigger engagement for sure. You don't have to push this, Fleta. Bumper's charging and dies. At this point, Vancouver just needs to throw themselves on the point so they die. Yeah, that's really all it took was hacking the Lucio. Spent like 2.5 minutes just looking for one hack, and they finally found it. Bumper wasn't the problem there. They get a handy victory here. 4 minutes and 20 seconds for them to push through this next point. They have to push through 2 more points. Oh, I can't control that. Yeah, it can be tough. They do have a little bit more time in the time. My headphone wire's all twisted now. Okay, Vancouver Titans coming up on a lot of ults, but with an EMP, there's no way they can actually use them, and that's going to be a very quick cleanup. And Seoul Dynasty has 5 ults remaining. This next fight is going to be insane.
And look at the Seoul Dynasty. Golden check marks across the top of your screen right now, except for Michelle with that EMP. They only had to use one single ultimate to win that
Okay,
fight.
so 11 ultimates in play here. First question is how many are going to be used, and second question is who uses theirs first and how. What do you guys think? So there's Rally, trading for Rally. That's a very kind of good neutral. Flood on the high ground, gets the Grav out. They don't have a bomb to combo with that. They tried to get a pin kill, but it didn't end up working. Bomb comes out, also doesn't find anything. But one kill on a fissure is going to be enough. A lot of ultimates just for one kill on a main tank. Okay, what does Vancouver have left over? They have Shatter and Sound Barrier, and Seoul Dynasty used everything except for Shatter, and they're having EMP come up. So Seoul Dynasty probably wants to play slow for the EMP hammer, and Vancouver Titans is probably going to have to either boop Shatter, speed Shatter, or something of that variety in order to win this one. So Seoul's playing slow. Bumper's playing in close. There's a speed boost. They went for the speed Shatter. It was pretty telegraphed, though, and he got stunned. Hey, even the casters said it was telegraphed. Casters aren't wrong. EMP. They lost Munchkin. Fissure's super low and nobody's healing him. Janu's hacked, but okay. Okay, Saul, how do you lose this when you EMP'd?
I mean, the bad part about that for Seoul Dynasty was the EMP was used when all the rest of the members were already...
Slime's just chasing him. He's playing fetch.
It really mattered that the Vancouver Titans didn't have access to any of their abilities because it was a couple quick finishing kills onto Fleck and Fisher. They're going to be coming back with another Graviton Surge, though. It's a great opportunity.
Bumper got. Okay.
They have so much healing.
Both support ultimates available for Vancouver Titans. Seoul Dynasty has the Trance, and Fleta has the Graviton. Okay. They could. Like, they don't have a bomb. So, okay. I was going to think Grav Slam. I wasn't exactly going to think Slam Grav, but you know what? What works, works. So I'd have to watch that again to see if that was planned or just like a poor communication thing from Seoul, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Replay. Okay, so they hacked Twilight, who did have Trance. That's big. Nice. Oh, so the Grav came out because Michelle hacked. Like so it was, the hammer was made probably because Fisher saw something, but then the Grav came out because of Michelle's call that Rujahong had been, that Twilight had been hacked. Michelle is once again behind and has EMP. Bumper once again goes for a speed shatter. Michelle's just trying to backcap them and nobody notices. Oh, well, they killed everyone too fast. They didn't notice, but they killed everybody too fast. That is kind of like the danger of playing Sombra. Is like, even when you're not going for a C9 play, if your Sombra is doing something like looking for an angle or pathing or trying to C9 or anything of that variety, then you're still fighting a 6v5. So Vancouver Titans just ran them over because they didn't have a diva. Unsurprisingly won that and then went back for the cart. Okay. So this is going to be an overtime fight. They're going to have EMP for it. Grav comes out. They do have Transcendence. EMP is countered, but Twilight catches that with his Transcendence. There's an extra hack onto Bumper, I think. So it's going to be the EMP chained into hack, but that now wears off. The re-engage is coming in with Barrier. Barrier from the Seoul Dynasty, and Bumper gets destroyed. Okay, and then Slime is down as well. John is trying to kind of like bump them off the cart before he throws his bomb. Is he going to get the remake? It does look like it. Michelle gets caught by that. I didn't even see where. Hoxell's trying to retreat. Munchkin gets taken out. He hasn't had a good game so far. Johnu trying his best, but he's a solo diva. Rally comes out from Hoxell. Not sure if I would... Hoxell's going to want that one. Well, I can kind of see why he did it. But Bumper had a nice little charge pin, but died before it finished, and Jaehong survives that. So, I'm not sure if that was a situation where Hoxell should have rallied, but it's probably too close of a situation to judge, so you can't really fault him for that. Elk's fault. It was Elk's fault. Elk was the problem. Okay, so Titans have both tank ults, but nothing else. Jaehong has Trance. Jexa is coming up on Barrier. So, and do they have bomb? Nowhere close to bomb. Okay. So this is going to be really hard for... Oh, that was very, very cheeky from Sumin Su. Knew that they would use the Transcendence to try and block that Graviton, so he flanked around the right side, dropped the Graviton, called the singular target, and then stood in the middle of the Grav with his personal bubble up, which blocked the LOS from the Transcendence so that they could actually kill them. So if you missed kind of like how Fleta died, it's because Sumin Su LOS'd the Trance with his own Zarya bubble after calling a target. I was saying that it was going to be tough for Vancouver Titans to get a kill there, but not if Sumin Su pulls shit like that. Okay, Fleta's going to be the first one grabbing. Bumper super low, took a lot of damage during that fire strike. Rally's coming out from Seoul Dynasty. This is going to be some pretty big just momentum for them. The Shatter gets blocked there. Fleta still had the personal to block it. Didn't even need Fissure to do that. Jexa does have the barrier here. Vancouver Titans, however, has all 3 support ultimates. Bomb isn't going to find anything. However, the grab there. Vancouver Titans used the Transcendence, but they still have 2 other support ultimates. Haxel does manage to get out, so there's no stagger there. And EMP is coming as well. So, like, Haxel needs to rally extremely early for the contest, and Slime basically needs to hide for the EMP. This is all, and it's a great swap from Twilight onto the Honor for the last point. Michelle's just looking for it. Johnu's looking for Michelle. There comes the EMP. Where's Slime with the barrier? Slime, beautiful. Was on a high ground, managed to get the barrier onto everyone, but I don't think it's matter. Slime also kills Munchkin. Slime is so good, it's unbelievable. But that's one of the things, even with support ultimates, like we were talking about yesterday with Elk, is that even if you do get a support ultimate off, it's not usually enough to survive against an EMP, especially if the Zarya is at 100 energy, right? So a Zen and a Zarya combined on a singular target is over 500 damage per second, ignoring the other 4 players on the team. So if you have a high charge Zarya and a stationary target, either from them being shattered or being graved, 2 individuals in GOATs can deal over 500 DPS, which means that Trance, you die in 1 second, Barrier, you die in 2. So, yeah, it was not enough to keep the Titans alive, even though they played extremely well. Both Slime and Twilight played so well in that final fight on Hollywood, but it's not enough, and Seoul gets the completion. Can you block beat with Zarya bubble? Yes.
They focus fire too good from Seoul Dynasty, and once they lost their first member, came very difficult, I think, for the Titans to win that last engagement.
The target calling looked really good by Seoul right at the end there. When you pick somebody your team wants to take...
EMP is very broken, okay? It's like probably if you wanted to do like a sane nerf on... yeah, just look at Haxel get destroyed. Haxel had rally, full health, on the ground, with barrier, less than 2 seconds, he's absolutely, utterly destroyed. The best thing to counter EMP would be to make its AoE smaller. It's way too easy to get 6-man EMPs.
Tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time right here on ABC, we've got the Stage 1 Finals. One of these teams are going to be in it. Hard to say who it's going to be at this point. Maybe Vancouver, maybe Seoul. Either way, you don't want to miss it. Tune in then. Meanwhile, here on Hollywood, we switch sides. Vancouver Titans on the attack now. Seoul Dynasty going to try to defend.
Okay. Here we go. Vancouver Titans. This is the kind of like the pathing that I'm interested in seeing. Security. Now, are they going to fake? Take your bets now. Is this a fake or are they actually going cafe? I bet you it's a fake. There's the rotation. It's a fake. Seoul's not falling for this twice, though. They fell for this against New York. So Seoul already corrected that mistake that they made against New York. That's great to see. This is chaos. I don't know what's going on. Bumper just charges in. Bumper's like, you guys are either looking at Johnu or Sumin Su or Slime, and it's not me, so have a pin. And just charges into the middle of everyone. Oh my god.
Well, with the way professional Overwatch has played at the moment,
charge. That was chaotic. I was very chaotic. And I think Vancouver Titans really thrives in chaotic situations because, like, let's be honest, like Sumin Su and Johnu, especially Slime and Twilight, like those guys are best in class, right? So, if not best in class, very close to it. So when you have a very chaotic situation and kind of like macro play, oh, that was so good. Oh, the coordination on that stun shatter was just glorious. I hope they show a replay of that. I would want to see that from different perspectives too, because that was like the perfectly executed stun shatter. But yeah, in chaotic situations, like Vancouver Titans players are just going to get more value than the Seoul Dynasty players.
Yeah, you can see now kind of where Seoul Dynasty comes back from after they die. And meanwhile, you can see as well the blue team at the
Okay, Seoul Dynasty out through the right side. They did capturing overtime. So they want to make sure that they hold them to at least sub 60 seconds. Seoul Dynasty is giving them a lot of space. Jexa is trying to dislodge Sumin Su here, but he does drop it eventually. Fissure's super low, and his shield's also low. The trance is being forced to come out. Counter Shatter comes out from Bumper. He's going to make sure that his team survives through the Graviton of Fleta. Bubbles have been used once again. Another boop comes out from Jexa, and that's going to allow them to find the Shatter on the backline, and the bomb is going to connect to Jonu because of that, but Fissure's getting isolated and taken out. And Michelle's not going to be long for this world either. There were actually a lot of really good plays during that fight, like counter shatters. I know that they were there, but I can't even list them anymore. What was the boop shatters? The use of both trances was very good. There were a lot of like really good things that happened during that fight, but they would take a long time to kind of break down. Why the 60 seconds? If Vancouver caps with less than 60 seconds, then Seoul Dynasty gets a second attempt. If Vancouver Titans cap with 61 seconds or more, they're playing, or Seoul Dynasty plays for the draw. Fissure gets stunned, but he got bubbled, and then he's kind of like out of position. I think he got stunned, that was countered by the bubble, and then Slime booped him in. So yeah, Fissure's just getting thrown around like a rag doll here. Like just the combination of Hawkcell's stuns and Slime's boops. Like, I'm not sure. I'd have to start paying attention, which I am going to start doing. I'll start paying more attention towards like what Jexa is doing, because Slime feels really free to me right now. So one of the best ways to like contest a Lucio who's just going ham wild on your main tank is to set your Lucio on him, because he can also wall ride, he can also boop, and they have to like trade resources to fight for map control. Okay, so Jexa booped Slime away. As soon as I started looking for it, I did start seeing it. So Jexa is trying to contest Slime. So that raises the question of why is Slime looking so free, regardless of Jexa's contest. Vancouver Titans having both support ultimates, Jaehong having trance, Jexa not that far away. Grav Bomb is online for Seoul Dynasty and will be online soon for the Vancouver Titans. So Hammer's not quite online yet. Okay, how is this going to be executed here? Okay. Vancouver Titans just extremely decisive engagements with speed, and through like weird angles too. Just a quick mini rotation. There's the trance and the graviton coming out. Pin doesn't connect. They're going to need barrier to chain into this. Fleda's graviton gets eaten, and they... But what? Did they hammer each other? Was that timing so perfect that they shattered each other and neither was canceled? Is that what we saw? The timing on that, though. I don't think it didn't look like a break stun. I thought it was a hammer. But. Grav getting eaten, pretty impactful there. I know that's a surprise to say that Grav being eaten is impactful, but. Okay. So Seoul Dynasty is playing for the draw, not the win, which means that this could technically be an 8-game series.
So Seoul Dynasty is going to have a very impressive defense, and the best they can hope for right now is a tie. I mean, Seoul Dynasty.
Thank God you're here for the commentary. The mainstream is unbearable with the crowd screaming. Yeah.
Completely different here. This may end up being a pretty quick map, actually.
It might indeed, and just as a reminder, it is 1st to 3 to win this series. So if this map is 1st to 4, excuse me.
I just like the confidence and the swagger of the Vancouver Titans is like the most impressive thing to me. You know, we're not talking about, you know, like the macro plays being that much difference, and like, yeah, the Vancouver Titans do have kind of like really, really good players, especially in Slime and Twilight. Yeah, there's the double stun, right? They showed that exact replay that I wanted to see. But like the thing that is most impressive about the Vancouver Titans to me is just like their decisiveness and the fact that they do everything together without like any hesitation. Everyone is on the same page when things are called, and they happen so crisply. It's almost like a military formation, kind of like it's like change, change. It's just so good. Okay, so we're seeing this again. Michelle was trying to get the disruption there. I don't know why it doesn't. Why was that not successful? Is this another fake? Like, Vancouver knows. Like, they know. I'll talk about that later. This is a another very chaotic situation. Bumper got his charge pinned, but they traded for Fissure. Jexa is super low. Munchkin and Michelle, and this is over for the Vancouver Titans. So the thing about this rotation. We're going to talk about Hollywood. Okay. So the thing with this rotation, right, is Vancouver kind of like sits here, and then they want to speed from here into this room. But then Michelle on the Diva was sitting here and was trying to boop the Vancouver Titans.
Hovering around High Masters / low GM as a hit scan player since Season 4. Don't have a lot of luck getting on teams. Any tips on how to improve from here? Love all your content. Thank you for what you do for the community.
Been hovering around High Masters low GM as a hit scan player since Season 4. Well, first of all, you're not in a great meta for a hit scan player, so I definitely recommend kind of like picking up some sort of tank. Zarya is obviously going to be the one with the most transferable skill set. But after that, like getting on teams, it's kind of like job applications. In order to get a new job, you don't just like put in one application for the job you want and hope you get it. You put in like 20 applications, you get 6 people who want to hire you, and then you pick the one you want out of the people who actually accept you. So don't feel like you should only be exclusive to one team. Try out for a ton of teams, and then pick the one that you want to join. So it's quantity over quality, I think, when you're looking for a new team, just like you're looking for a new job. So anyway, Vancouver Titans were here, and they want to rotate from there to there, but it's pretty dangerous because they'll get spammed out, and it's a rotation that's kind of like very open. Now, Michelle was hiding in this location, and when Vancouver Titans was trying to rotate into here, Michelle tried to boost out in order to like knock them away and slow down and kind of like disrupt their rotation, and that allows Seoul Dynasty to either like collapse or pick somebody if it's a squishy that's knocked away. You could make this even better if Jexa was around this area, and also like double boop. So if Michelle knocks somebody forward, the Lucio sees that and adds his boop to the boop of Michelle, and that sends the person like halfway across the bloody map. And then if you get a double boop on somebody who's like right here, they'll end up like here, and then Seoul is like, oh, hi, and kills them and then cleans everybody else because they don't have a route of retreat. They've committed to this pathing. So I don't actually know why the Michelle boop failed, because I saw Michelle there, I saw Michelle fly out, but I didn't see why the boop occurred. But anyway, Vancouver Titans arrives here, and this is very much like Busan Mecha Base, because when you're in this location, you're in a location where you have 2 options. Option 1 is to commit to the rotation and go here. Option 2 is to fake, where they go back and they play here. So the purpose of making this rotation is twofold. The first reason for this rotation is the fact that it threatens 2 different paths that require the Seoul Dynasty to be in 2 different locations. If the Seoul Dynasty does not defend this door, the Vancouver Titans get this high ground for free and should just instantly win. So the Seoul Dynasty does not have the option of not contesting this door. The problem with this door is that it's a very, very hefty choke. And if Fissure is sitting here, he's going to be able to just like swing into it for free, and Vancouver Titans is going to lose a fight if they try and take this doorway. So knowing that, Seoul Dynasty basically doesn't have a choice of not contesting this door, but they need to have some way of scouting this area. Vancouver Titans, they're very, very confident that they don't want to go there because Seoul Dynasty is going to be able to get there faster. So they go here, they hide, they threaten this angle, then they fake back to main. And by this point, Seoul Dynasty has to take their main tank, who is about here, and put them back to here. But that prevents the Vancouver Titans from having to fight for this location, or high ground. That's the first point Hollywood meta. I don't think Vancouver really actually needs to care too much about trying to counteract the Sombra. Like, the thing is that Vancouver Titans is just winning so many more fights in the neutral that, like, Sombra's win rate, when you look at their statistics, Sombra's win rate when she does not have ultimate is like low 40s, high 30s. And right now, in the fights where they don't have ultimate, they don't have EMP, I think it's even lower than that for Seoul Dynasty right there. So Vancouver Titans, pretty much the only times in which they're losing these fights are when they do have EMP. But if you're forcing them to use EMP so fast by just being like really aggressive and forcing it out, either they'll mess up and like not be in a position to trigger the EMP when they want, or they do it, you die, and then you get in the next fight with it where they don't have one even faster. So because the Vancouver Titans are just winning so many more fights in the neutral, it's not very critical that they work really hard on countering the EMPs itself. Okay.
Gonna put that teleport up, but it looks like it's a fake. He's just gonna get a few people up on the high ground. Want to get that Winston in there. Meanwhile, Fleta raining rockets down from above. Munchkin swapping back.
Oh, they put Ana on the high ground with the Symmetra. So they wanted to play Mercy on a triple DPS, but the only way that Ana would have been viable is if you got them onto the bridge, so they did a rollout. But the problem with this is if the Ana is forced to drop off, there's no way Ana gets back up. So this should be a priority for Vancouver Titans to disassemble. Very interesting. Bumper is in trouble. Yep, Michelle got him. Interesting. I think it's very, very unlikely that Vancouver Titans scouted this. So this is one of the things where, I forget the term for it, but, ooh, Twilight almost takes out Munchkin there on the high ground. But yeah, just doing things that are new and unscouted and unprepared for can be more powerful, even if on paper they aren't as good, just because teams will not react to them optimally. You know, with stress, with kind of like limited decision-making time, they can't usually react to things with the proper level of skill. Okay, nice. Bumper's trying his best, but there's nothing really that Vancouver Titans can collapse on, so they are just slowly going to get dismantled here. This was nice. Nice little calculated risk. It also explains why Seoul picked this map when it's not really the greatest for, like, Sombra Goats, but if you're playing multiple DPS, fine. Now they have the EMP, and just knowing how Seoul played against the New York Excelsior here, it's probably going to be the Nano onto the Pharah for the barrage, and they don't have any ultimates except for the bomb itself. So is this going to be a concussion blast over the box into Nano Barrage? Called it. Still dies through the Nano, only gets one, so not a great trade. They do have the res, but I don't think it's going to matter. Bumper's low. Fisher's trying to find somebody with a pile drive. Forces the Transcendence out, and Jexa is going to go for that res. Gets Fleta back up. Okay, so Trance is out, and Seoul Dynasty is still at full strength, but no ultimates. And Vancouver Titans both has Grav, Primal, Barrier, and Bomb here. Fissure, not sure what he's doing. Feeding is probably the best thing. And then that's going to be a reset for the Seoul Dynasty, and I would expect a full composition swap here. I would expect a full swap to Reinhardt Goats, because Vancouver Titans is on Winston Goats and Bumper has Primal. This puts Bumper in an awkward position where he neither needs to swap and give up Primal, which he did. That is the correct choice, Bumper. Good job. Yeah. Or risk that he would be stuck on Winston.
Seoul Dynasty with about 5 minutes in the time bank here. They're going to have to probably push a few times before they can really go for a big fight because they need to build up those ultimates. That takes time.
Ooh, interesting little speed charge that Fissure attempted there, but I think Seoul's all dead. Yep.
Exactly that. Just that one ultimate used by Sominsu to set up that win.
Well, that's all it takes, though, because Vancouver Titans know that since Seoul just swapped all their characters, which resets all the ults, that they're not going to have any support ults available to them, and you need...
This has got to be so painful. I'm just listening to Monty and Doa, and they're saying things at, like, a third grade level, because, like, these games are being broadcast on ABC, so, like, they're normally pretty casual friendly with their casting, but they've taken it, like, way down. Really, honestly, good on them. It's kind of funny, but they're doing it really well for, like, the TV audience who wouldn't understand what's going on. That's good. It's good that they're doing that, but it's kind of funny hearing Monty talk in such simple terms. Okay, there's Rally coming out from Hoxel. Munchkin still doesn't have that. They need to get out of there. Jexa is doing a good job just kind of like forcing. So that was good. That was another example where Jexa was contesting slime. So ever since I've like started looking for it, Jexa is contesting slime. At least I'm noticing it a lot more. But slime, like how when he's being contested by a Lucio as good as Jexa, is he still getting so much value? Or is it like just as soon as I started looking for it, Jexa started focusing on it? I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not the kind of one shatter you want to get. And the trance comes out too late. This is massive. If Seoul Dynasty can survive through this trance and this bomb, they're going to have Grav to finish things up. The bomb lands in a corner. Barrier comes out, but Barrier's not going to be enough to save you alive and Grav. It never is. Rouge Hong's in there, and he gets the E to keep him alive. Hoxel's low, but they're going to chase down the Zarya first. Hoxel just boops Fisher away from him, trying to get this point as long as he can. Twilight's one. Hammer comes out. That gets blocked, unfortunately. Michelle got taken out, though. Janu's back on the ball, so they don't have defense matrix anymore. Munchin's trying his best. He's going to stun him. They do have the Discord still alive, so they'll be able to burn through these big health pools. And the barrier come out for aggressive cleanup is so good. It allows them to split. It keeps them in the fight with the Transcendence and the damage of the Zenyatta active. And this should be more than enough momentum for Seoul to actually cap this point. I don't think Rally's going to be enough because Hoxel should get destroyed as soon as he tries to contest. He does. Sumin Su's in trouble. Bubble is out. That means he can't contest the point. Bumper's going to have to charge in. Fletta's going to tank that pin. Great job from Fletta. Janu's back out. So they need to really focus here. And as soon as they can get a stun... stun? You need to stun Janu. Nice. Stun came out onto Janu. He's discorded. He's bubbled, though. Mines come out. Jaehong's in trouble. Hoxel's looking for Jaehong. And how is Vancouver taking this back? Oh, my God, Vancouver. This is illegal. You're not allowed to do this.
To delay the point, because if you can hit somebody with a punch and hit him into the wall, you can kill in one shot.
Unlucky.
The lower HP heroes.
They even took out the rally before it came on the point. I thought they had it after that.
Soul's coming in though with a lot of ultimates.
Okay.
They got up to just 0.5%. That's crazy.
Vancouver Titans has both tank ults though and barrier, and they don't have bomb yet. Janu doesn't have bomb yet either, though, so they're very, very safe with just using the Transcendence for Graviton. There's the hammer. It finds 3, looks like. There's the Graviton coming out as well. Barrier comes out, but the counter hammer from Bumper, they either didn't track or didn't block the counter hammer directly. And with Fleta gone from the Seoul Dynasty's team, their DPS is just so low. Like, they still have their Transcendence up, but they didn't, of course, have the Transcendence up during... Okay. Fisher could also just hammer everybody down. And I didn't think that was going to go the way of Seoul Dynasty, honestly. They had, like, no damage. But, okay. That happened. They don't need Fleta, apparently. How much time was remaining? How did they win that one and not the fight before?
See if they can pull it off right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Oh, it doesn't tell me. Unlucky. Okay, about 50 seconds or so. Just remember, Jayne, Elk was the problem. True story. True story here. Jayne, a question with Baptiste and the new patch added to the game. Do you think this will get Overwatch over his Dark Age? In terms of meta and content, I would like to hear your opinion. I don't know. Overwatch is, it's like one of those things where games have to hit like a certain critical mass in order to be like good for content creators, because like when you're looking about like Apex, if everybody is making Apex, it's more worthwhile for content creators to make Apex stuff. So it's not that like Overwatch is bad for making content, it's just that it's not as lucrative, I suppose, because everyone else is on other things. So if you want like content creators to come back to Overwatch, you need a reason for a lot of them to come back. It's not going to be enough to convince 1 or 2 to do it. Coming up with any Baptiste comps? What map does he really shine on? I don't know yet. Have you ever considered being an Overwatch League caster? I'm not good enough at talking. So I like fumble quite a bit. And then oftentimes like I think faster than I can talk. And it's rough for me to get around that. So I don't really have... It would take a lot of practice and effort for me to become the level of a professional caster. Have you ever thought about being an OWL coach before? No, never thought about that. Jayne plus XQC casting duo, easy. What are your thoughts on DeFran in the season so far? He's doing better than I thought he would. He's definitely got a nice team of friends around him. The support staff is obviously doing a good job. He's living in nice conditions. Him kind of like watching 10 hours of Chica or whatever. It's kind of like tongue-in-cheek. That's not the kind of stuff where you actually have to be worried about the guy. So, the stuff that people like post on Twitter, if they're at the point where they're still posting about it on Twitter, they're probably okay. It's the stuff that goes unseen and hidden and untalked about. That's the stuff that you usually kind of is the worst stuff. So no, to see him kind of just mope and laugh about it by watching 10 hours of Chica on Twitch, that's it's about as nice of a meltdown as you can have from somebody. So I think he did well. I think he's going to continue doing well, and I'm happy that that's the case. Did you see DeFran's stream last night? I saw some of it, but I actually had to sleep. So unfortunately, I didn't stick around for the full 10 hours.
Welcome back, Seoul Dynasty, getting the job.
Asheron YYC, were you at Twitch Calgary? I saw Twitch Calgary, the meetup happened 2 days ago or something like that. Meet your fate within 9 months. It says Pog. Lebo, not Lucio. The 200 bits says Slime is one of the better rollout trick jump Lucios. He's not taking the 1v1s, just juking Jixa. I'm watching his first person POV. That's interesting. Thank you so much for the information. Manticore with the Prime. Rice How with the Prime. Pizza Loot with the Prime as well.
The Titans are capable of doing that, but they also love taking these mirrors because they are so good.
DeFran said he didn't play well in the second half of the game because he was hungry, and I 100% believe that. I 100% believe that. Okay. Okay, Titans. Are you going left? Nice. Hawksall scouting, trying to proc that Inspire. You see, if you look for those really, really early whip shots. I think Flood is trying to he's trying to force the proc almost too early, and he's being unsuccessful with it. Hawksall just poked around the corner, hit Fisher once, gets the Inspire up so they're a little bit more resilient during the poke phase, and I think Fleta once again, or sorry, Munchkin, not Fleta. Ugh. Still chilling. Slime just floating around. I looked at chat. I missed the engagement. Bumper's in trouble. Now Fisher's in trouble. It was all a bait. And Bumper's just charging. Oh, it's too bad I didn't see what the rest of the teams were doing since we were locked into the Bumper Fisher POV. But man, Bumper just gives no fucks. Apparently Soul looked at chat as well.
36 on the clock as Vancouver Titans unlock point B on this assault map here. They have got all the time.
Okay, 6 ultimates for Vancouver Titans, 6 ultimates for Seoul Dynasty. This is going to be messy. What are we going to start with? Rallies? Rally Hammer. Second rally is also up. Next one should be Gravitons. Unless Fisher can find some sort of stun. Oh, Bumper. Oh, the charge gets interrupted by the counter grab. That's great. Bombs in the background. Fleta blocks it with the bubble. Michelle gets back in a remake. Slime's berry is just wearing off now. Great. 12 ultimates, no kills. Pog. Now we're in the neutral. Munchkin overextends. Fisher's shield break. Bumper's going to die. No, he survives it. It doesn't matter. Okay. So Vancouver Titans know they're just better in the neutral, so they force a 12 ult situation, eliminate ultimates from both teams, and then win in neutral. Perfect. big brain plays from the Vancouver Titans.
That's absurd. 5 minutes and 43 seconds. It will be rounded up
Hey, Mung.
for Seoul Dynasty, so they have a
I'm not gonna lie, but the top left part is more entertaining than if I actually saw the screen. Is it, Emong? How you doing, bud? Chat, say hi to Emong.
Advantage from point A, immediately snowball that into an advantage on point B if they want to have a chance. It's going to be really hard for the Seoul Dynasty. They've got about 1/6 of the amount of time as the Titans.
5:43 in the time bank for the Titans. Just a minute for Seoul Dynasty. If you have less than a minute remaining when you finish your attack on an assault map, they bump it up to a minute. Blizzard is very generous in that regard.
However,
Attackers on assault maps here.
the other team also gets however many seconds that was. So
That is
if you
true.
get 30 more seconds to round up to a minute, then the Vancouver Titans will also get 30 seconds.
What was my
on
fortune?
their clock. So the
Generous
difference,
but fair.
but fair. Generous but fair. The difference remains the
Stop
same.
worrying
The
and
Vancouver
take a
Titans got back on
chance.
this defense. You'll notice Bumper is playing the Winston.
That's what my fortune said, chat.
Because they anticipate the Farah wrecking ball Sombra attack that we saw.
Take a chance. Let's go, Seoul! They're gonna try this again.
For the team to leave their
Do you think Bumper's going to let this happen twice in a row? I feel like he's going to try and, if they see this again, Bumper's going to be on that high ground in half a second. And Twilight's on the Ana as well, so I'll be able to support him. Why is he right-clicking there? Is he trying to, like, signal that they have... Is it some sort of, like, bait? No. Okay. What is he doing here? That fortune sounds like Bumper's advice on playing Reinhardt. Dodges Twilight's sleep dart. I do like this swap that Vancouver made, going from the Zen goats onto the Ana goats.
Got those great sightlines. Meanwhile, Munchkin on the Widowmaker. Widowmaker doesn't do any healing. She just hurts people with that sniper rifle. Looking for those shots again. Seoul Dynasty.
3 DPS, like 3 DPS versus 3 DPS, as well as 3 DPS versus goats, is always going to be like a difficult thing to see from the first-person perspective. So, like, for the benefit of the viewer, we're looking at a Widowmaker, but it doesn't really give me any information about what's actually happening. Vancouver Titans were just kind of hiding off the point. Oh, Fissure is not good at ball. There's no real other way to put that, other than Fissure is just not very good at the ball. Fleta, however, very good at Farah. And as long as we can get... Oh, come on, Jaehong. You gotta heal Fleta. No, please don't die. I know it's a brig, but just don't die, forehead. Fleta is just trying his hardest. Fleta carry harder. I don't think spawn advantage is actually going to matter enough here. Jexus should be dead, especially with Rally. Jexus is still alive somehow. He gets the health back. Okay, he's finally dead.
And what you see here is one of the problems when you go for these heavy damage dealing attacks.
Shock or Titans for stage 1 champs?
Damage characters, so you can't really stay on the point to capture it. You have to get those kills because if you're trying to contest the point itself,
I think Shock's got a good chance. I'd probably put it again at like 60-40 for Vancouver. Maybe 55-45 Vancouver. I think Shock is...
There were no early eliminations that
Shock
could
is good.
help, and that's where Seoul Dynasty is going to end things with only 60% taken on point A, and they have to hold the Vancouver Titans for 5 minutes and 43 seconds to just that amount.
Have you studied the Pairs Eternal? No, I have not.
4% map is over. Vancouver wins.
Nearly 6 minutes for Seoul Dynasty to have to last on point A against Vancouver. Barely lasted at all the first time they had to defend against the Titans here on Temple of Anubis. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a tough time for Seoul.
Okay, 5 minutes and 43 seconds to defend 60% of first. That is going to be a tall order. Okay, this time I'm actually going to watch the engagement. So Vancouver Titans going to rotate to the what? Vancouver Titans going to do what? Quad DPS attack? Okay, Vancouver. Chill out. Bumper on Hanzo. Vancouver's just going to disrespect Seoul. Bumper doesn't even know how to wall climb. That's a good start. Yep, Titan's definitely trying to flex on Seoul right now. It's a good strat. Like, I'm not sure if the quad DPS is... Bumper still trying to learn how to wall climb. Bumper. I'm glad the casters recognize it too. He's like me, Storm Arrow in the general direction of the Reinhardt. Bumper, this is... Ooh. 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 I don't think Bumper's ever played Hanzo before.
A lot of damage with these rockets, and that's where it gets serious.
Oh my god.
In case you're keeping track at home. Another one of his
He's got Barrage up too.
heroes.
Barrage is ready. They're going to try and get it when they're all clustered in this room.
Oh, they've got him exactly where they want him. Yanu takes out Jinxei there, and now here comes a barrage from Hoxall. Tons of rockets, tons of damage, and a map win for Vancouver Titans. They are up 3-0 in this series now.
We got one more map of this. Okay, Vancouver has firmly entered meme territory. Buckle in, boyos. We're in for some serious memes. Okay. What are we going to see? Seoul Dynasty attacking first. Vancouver Titans defending first. Defending with Winston Goats, looks like.
Otherwise, just try to get as far as you can here.
I know the game is starting.
Seoul Dynasty on their attack. This is it, man. They gotta get a map win right here if they want
Probably
to
just
stay alive.
scouting, looking for an easy shot. And not the Ana Brigida. Okay.
Just to see if they can pick off somebody with a sniper at the start of the map. Vancouver Titans, however, behind cover, not going to have that
Okay.
opportunity.
Bumper just looking for a ton of cleave, jumping out. Only gets about 16% primal there. Michelle's just trying to poke Janu and Bumper. Bumper's like, once again going in pretty hard. Slime's looking for something. Bumps the backline away so they can't kind of collapse on Bumper. That's an interesting use of the boop. Not as common, I suppose. Michelle gets demeched when he was trying to go for Twilight. Still moving this through. Bumper's probably going to die on payload here instead of trying to survive or use primal.
65 here. It's gonna be just
I don't know.
Michelle outside the diva, and you don't do a lot of damage.
And you have no abilities either in the Violet Diva form, so you have no defense matrix to protect your allies.
This is a really good area. Vancouver Titans doesn't want to allow this payload to go any farther past this corner. Because when you're in the second half of this area, Reinhardt Goats is vastly superior. But in the first half, okay, that's really good the way that Seoul Dynasty did that. So Seoul Dynasty rotated an area, trying to force a fight in the area where they have the advantage and the Winston Goats doesn't. But it doesn't work. They go back, and they had to use Barrier for that honor. So Sumin Su is coming up on the Graviton, but Rouge Hung already has the Transcendence. Bumper is once again in and out of there. But is Graviton probably going to be used here? They're swapping things around. Both Gravitons are coming out. Transcendence is used, but Vancouver Titans don't have one. They trade Sumin Su for Munchkin. That's a trade I'll take any day, but not if you add Fleta and Jexa in. So that's going to be a hold for Vancouver Titans.
Winston going ape as he tries to push around members of Seoul Dynasty, and dare I say they didn't even need that one, man. Seoul Dynasty already
Ooh, that was risky for Bumper.
people down, trying to get that exit kill, but you're going to be satisfied with what you got, I think, if you're the Titans.
Yeah, and that's what the Primal Rage does double Winston's HP and gives him a lot more mobility.
Wow, we're going so simple on the casting. We're even explaining Primal Rage.
During that ultimate.
All around
Okay.
looking threatening.
A lot of ultimates here. Rallies will probably be used as soon as Bumper tries to engage here. He's just sitting there. They didn't rally that. Just letting Bumper get next. Okay, there's the rally. Ooh, they saw where Janu was, and they tried to force him out. Bumper's still just like being an asshole in the back line. Rally is answered back with no Gravitons available yet. Bomb is up for Michelle, but not for Janu. Hammer finds Hawksall. That should be first cap for... oh, no, the payload's far enough back they'll get a recontest as long as they don't let the payload move very far. Twilight's Transcendence wasn't able to save. Bumper dies afterwards. So Titans should be able to get a recontest, and they have Barrier to do it, and Barrier will allow them to last until Grav Bomb. Bumper's coming back on Reinhardt, so he's not going to be the first one there. Are they going to have to use Barrier to touch and sustain? Oh no, Bumper is going to get back just in time here. There's the Barrier used. The pin comes out. Bomb connects onto Sumin Su, and that should be enough. Janu's in trouble. One more swing will take him out. Jexa dies somewhere. And they're going to keep it rolling. Nice. Nice job, Soul. What is better in 3 DPS, Mercy, Ana, or Mercy Zen? It depends on the map and what you're wanting to accomplish and whether you're burning tanks or trying to go for squishies. There's a lot of reasons for it.
Best defensive points on any map in Overwatch because you have high ground and a 90-degree corner if you're the defending.
Now, this is a very interesting area of Rialto just because there's so many like weird chokes and there's no like one best option for how it should be attacked or defended. Jexa gets Bumper. Oh no, that Slime gets Munchkin. Unfortunate, but you know what? Main tank is going to be more important than your Brigida. So then Fleta takes out Sumin Su. That was glorious. I didn't even see Jexa's positioning there, and I don't think Bumper did either. So into the drink you go. Nice. Free fight for Seoul. Well, Fleta just feeding off screen. Okay. And now Vancouver Titans gets a free fight the other direction as well. Did Jexa do it again? Oh, Jexa got him onto a boat. But Bumper is split. Get him again! Yes! Let's go, Jexa.
But guess what, man? That's never going to get you back to the payload. Seoul Dynasty again getting some more distance, and Jexay coming up as a hero for this team right now.
Nice.
Lucio can do is to reposition people,
I'm telling you, this is the start of the reverse sweep.
shoot them off of the map.
Don't think it's not.
What happens if you fall in that water, you die.
Bumper's fucked.
That's right. Nobody can
Hey, what?
apparently. It's a future.
Fisher didn't go for the hammer, even though Jexa... Jexa's like, please, Fisher! Please! He's just juggling Bumper one-handed, and then Fisher just shatters into Bumper's shield. No!
Through, they couldn't follow up on that one. Titans on the
Oh, man.
by the Zarya shield.
At least they didn't get shattered in return. Oh, Jayhung's down in the back line, though. Rallies out. There's Bomb. This is good. I don't think they have anything to stop it with. Nice.
And there goes Hanzo. Seoul Dynasty again pushing forward on the attack. Michelle with a kill streak. That's
Bugling jumper.
2:30 on the clock for C.
They're explaining booping. Nice.
He's on this big kill streak right now.
Man, Jexa was like, Fisher, please. Fisher. Fisher, please. Shatter. Bumper's in the air. Please shatter.
In that first engagement, but Vancouver Titans, they didn't have the opportunity to have a strong defense, and guess who is creeping up here with their
What?
Another pin onto Bumper. They get the Zarya shield on him to prevent the damage right away, and now Munchkin have fled it down. In the
What was the actual purpose of that?
first shatter, but no kills come through.
Other than to expedite the feeding.
No, it didn't, but they didn't have a lot of resources available to them, right? And you can see the spawn room right there that Sunmitsu is firing into. Vancouver Titans trying to take this strong high ground position where they can control line
Now,
of sight.
this is actually an extremely difficult hold to break. So, where is Jexa going? Is Jexa trying to get behind him? Oh, they noticed. They noticed. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. This Jexa, I really like Jexa, but like that hold position that Vancouver in is deceptively tricky to break at the pro level. But they got around that entirely by just waiting for Jexa to back cap a little bit, and that forced Vancouver off that area instead of doing any of the complicated rotations and bait and fakes that I was going to try and explain. But interesting. Drop.
There's only a minute
Okay, let's
left,
go.
though, for Seoul. They don't have a lot in the tank when it comes to the ultimate economy compared to Vancouver.
Need to win another big fight. They need to do it right now. Seoul Dynasty pushing forward. Vancouver Titans playing it patiently.
Ooh, Suminsu wants to grab. He's looking for it. Michelle knows he's there, though.
Letting more time lead up
Fleta's having grab as well.
to push forward. Now they're getting aggressive here. Solminsu looking for a chance to use
Was he trying to like bait defense matrix out by doing that or something?
the grab time search from Solminsu.
Both transcendences are used. Bomb is used. Barrier is also used. Boop was used, but the barrier keeps them alive through it. The bomb is coming down. Does find Haxel as he tries to escape it. Nice stuff. So that was good. That was really good. Jexa realized that they were going to die unless he added his barrier into that. So no, Jexa is playing so well right now.
Means the Vancouver Titans have no protection as they're grouped together.
That's so big, man. Seoul getting really close to completing their
Okay, there's Rally. They're going to collapse on Bumper. He's discorded and the bubble's down. They get Sound Barrier down before the Shatter just to try and save Bumper, but I think this momentum is going to be enough unless Suminsu gets the grab and kills everyone on his own. Okay, they're okay. Come on, kill the Mini. Now kill Twilight. Now kill Slime.
may have done it just like on Hollywood.
Nice.
Moment they complete their attack.
The reverse sweep begins.
Hard for Seoul.
Jexa is carrying pretty hard right now. It's nutty. It is nutty.
So this is going to be another full push we have to see from the Vancouver Titans. They must match the Seoul Dynasty, and then we will head into Time Bank.
Reverse sweep incoming, boys.
We're talking about a little bit earlier from Seoul, where so far in this series, the attacks really haven't been the problem.
What is the hardest map to complete in pro play? Route 66?
But the problem has been the defense. When it's
Non-2CP map? Route 66 comes to mind right away.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and that's why we've been in so much big time bank situations for the Titans, where they have 6 times the amount of time that we see from the Seoul Dynasty. So it has been rough.
Hey, Sibelius. Chan, 1032 with the 300 bits, says, tips on coaching a silver DPS main? After learning to play around our plat 6 stacks, he has trouble positioning when his tanks seem lost in solo queue games. Yeah, so it's really easy to play. Like, it's a lot easier to play up. So if you're like a diamond player playing in Grandmaster, or like a diamond player playing with like Grandmaster teammates, it's not that it's going to be hard to keep up with them. A lot of your mistakes are going to be kind of covered for, or you're going to be kind of like microed. But one of the things is the reason why Grandmaster players are going to be like so good against diamonds is they're going to be able to recognize the mistakes and punish them. So it's pretty easy to perform at a platinum level if you're being told what to do and being guided through it by platinum players. But he's still not going to recognize like when he's making a mistake or when his opponents are making mistakes that he can punish. Fimi Jargo, thanks for the 4 months. Okay. Titans are going Zen Goats. Soul's going Zen Goats. Okay, let's do this again. Sumansu's on the high ground. He's going to jump across. Nice. I like Sumansu's positioning here. Okay, so Fisher just wants to kind of stuff them into this area here. Sumansu's on the high ground. As soon as he goes into this, like, oh no, the rest of Vancouver, are they going to flip? How are they going to do? Are they going to, like, drop right on Soul, or are they going to flip? Okay, so they drop on them. They don't try and flip it. Now they're trying to, like, drag the payload away from Soul, but Soul's doing a good job of not allowing that to actually happen. And now the good... Oh, don't let it go! Don't let it go! Soul, Soul! Soul, please! Oh, my God. Fish is in trouble. Bumper's low, though, so he can't really engage. You gotta get an E. Oh, Fletta's down. Ooh. Was that a right click that just destroyed Fisher? That was going well until the Seoul Dynasty let the payload get away from them. Just dragged it away, and then they had to force engage past a corner. Like, if they had not done that, then in order to get the payload to move, the Vancouver Titans would have had to, like, push forward through the choke that they didn't want to initially break in the first place. So, yeah, that was... Not a great hold from Seoul Dynasty. They're back, though, so it's not quite over yet. And they still have a Transcendence as well. Janu doesn't have the barrier. Oh, no, they got Fleta. They pinned Fleta out of the Grav. Jayne comes out of the Transcendence after having chased Fleta, trying to keep him alive in a bad position. And Vancouver Titans gets that cap. It's too bad. Maybe the dream is not real. They're taking a 5v6 though contest, yeah, but that position is like so good to hold. You know, we talk about like in normal situations, for example, it's like not a good idea to beat a standard grav and things like that. You know, Transcendence is really the only thing that's going to like keep you alive through it. But there are circumstances in which you have to take the risk and fight outnumbered, fight in suboptimal ways, because the payoff of winning in those suboptimal conditions is just so high. And those kind of situations are like, you know, most commonly going to be the end of 2 CPs, the end of checkpoints on payload and hybrid and things of that variety. Run, Jayne. Defense matrix that hammer. Unlucky. Bumper just charges out. I was like, okay, you guys doesn't even try and help his teammates out. It's just Bumper just charges everywhere. My goodness. What do you get for winning stage 1? $500,000? Hammer knocks Michelle. That allows Grav to come out. Bomb also comes out. Pin is early and misses, but the boop isn't. Boop manages to connect with 3. Nice. Nice boop from Slime. It was mind games, Bumper missing that pin. Oh, 500k prize pool. 200k for first. Is that how it is? Yeah. Okay.
If Seoul can hold for the next 4.5 minutes, which is unlikely but doable, they will win this map.
Okay. Rally and beat. Well, Vancouver is coming up on all 3 of their support ultimates. Bumper has his hammer. Seoul Dynasty only has 1, and that's Transcendence. The good news being they don't have it for Grav. The bad news, if they have to use it for a different reason, they won't have it for Grav. Hammer comes out. Everybody's on the ground, and you definitely can't use it if you're stunned, which means they're going to have it for last fight. On the upside, Vancouver Titans used both of their support ultimates, so it's going to be Transfer Trance, and Sumansu's, well... Okay, a D-Mech onto Michelle is going to make sure that he has to reset to get back onto Diva. Sumansu having his Grav here is so important. Seoul Dynasty has to win in the neutral, or else Suminsu is going to grab. Hammer comes out. Fisher dies. Munchkin's in trouble, just staying alive. Yeah, Munchkin's dead. Suminsu has the grab, but he doesn't even need it. Okay, on the upside, this is payload and not hybrid, so both teams will have another shot, but Seoul Dynasty is going to have less than a quarter of the time that Vancouver Titans does.
Yeah, really big advantage for the Vancouver Titans as we head into time bank. Now, what's
If Dallas would have won stage 1, how much would you get as a coach? I actually don't have a bonus written into my contract. Other people do, but I don't have a bonus clause in my contract.
on their clock. So right now, if you leave the payload basically at all in overtime,
Other people do.
it
I
will
don't.
tick down to 0 and you will lose immediately. So Seoul will pretty much, as soon as the clock hits 0 off of their minute, they will have to have one player on top of the payload at all times, or the payload will end there.
Yeah, when you're in this situation where you just start with a minute, you're in overtime almost immediately. And then it's just such a crucial game as we look at the clock appropriately. Seoul Dynasty nearly out of time here.
It is standard for teams other than just Dallas to have bonus in the contract. Sometimes staff gets bonuses, sometimes they don't. Depends on the position. I'm not going to talk about like the specifics of Dallas Fuel contracts, but they're nice. They are nice contracts.
That said, though, they can push the payload in overtime through the entire map. It is theoretically possible for them to do that. So
Theoretically, yes.
Seoul will have this attack round, and as far as they push the payload,
Are you streaming the finals? Yes, I'll be streaming the finals.
that in order to
Printed on fancy paper. Shit's thick, like 2 millimeters. It's even got gilded edges.
That's cool and all, but come on.
they've already destroyed all the beautiful
Okay, your 1 minute starts now, Seoul Dynasty. You only have one chance to mess up, and that's only if you do it early.
As far as they possibly can with the limited time they have.
We have the best contracts. Ooh, wow, Vancouver going for a pretty aggressive hold here. Are they just trying to like slow things down, get some extra ult charge, and make sure this is his final fight? Probably. Probably. Yeah. I think they're falling back immediately.
Vancouver will fall back to the next corner.
So Vancouver's playing with the Brig Zarya high ground defense. That's a tricky one to try and deal with. But, you know what, if you are going to... Oh, Janu's looking for this boop here. Do they know that Janu's here? Janu and Slime setting up for the boop. Oh no, this could be bad. They're... Oh, no, okay. This is so dangerous for Seoul. Okay, oh, Fisher survives. Bumper's in the backline, and he pins Fisher out.
Really low and Fisher down already. Twilight grabs 2. The flex support popping off for the Vancouver Titans.
Bumper. The balls on that man.
This is where the payload ends.
The balls on that man.
Vancouver Titans with all the time in the world to win on their round.
Okay.
Guess what? They win this round, they win the whole series. So Seoul has to have an immaculate defense. And they
I really just got to watch Bumper's perspective for a while to more appreciate what he actually does.
I mean, what can you say, man? Vancouver Titans basically have this one all locked up.
Are you streaming the Philly versus the Shock game? Yes, I will be.
We have ever seen in Overwatch for Seoul to even have a chance to stay alive in the series, and even if they were somehow to win this map, they've still got to win 3 more in a row in the series. So
Tantalus Gaming with the 200 bits says, what is the difference in tasks between a head manager and an assistant manager in OWL? Assistant manager?
we'll see if the Vancouver
Who? What team has an assistant manager?
unorthodox composition or not. They have to
And what, like a head manager? Those are not terms I'm familiar with.
And speaking of unorthodox compositions, Seoul
Coach, I mean. Okay, I'll talk about that during the break.
Bastion. Now Bastion is a hero.
I was like, what?
Transform into a turret and deal a ton of damage.
Yes, Soul going for the Sombra Bastion cheese. I love it.
Sort of a hard point composition. They are going to set up on the high ground and basically create a point that the Vancouver Titans are going to have.
Monty is trying his best. Bless his soul.
To eliminate the Bastion.
look at this. So smart by Hawksall. He's going to use Hanzo's Sonic Arrow to see everybody on Seoul Dynasty. You plant that on a wall, and it gives you a little bit of vision.
And Doa's explaining Sonic Arrow. I love these two. They're trying so hard. I guess that's the reason why they didn't put Achilles and Wolf for casting the semis of the finals, right? Achilles and Wolf would be like, no, we're talking about intricate things.
Sure, the process knocked him into the canal. It seems like Twilight down. So Seoul responding with a
Jexa, oh, missed his, or Fleta missed the proc. It confuses me that so many different people on Seoul Dynasty play Brigitte. I can't just like look at the Brigitte and say a name because it's always somebody different.
shell popped out of the mech. Fleta knocked in the canal again. Vancouver Titans just a little bit farther, and they'll punch their ticket to the Stage 1 finals.
Yep, that was the defense.
But I think that's going to be all she wrote for Seoul Dynasty. They are so close, man.
You hate so much. You hate what so much? You hate that defense so much? Yeah, it wasn't a very good one. I think if I were the one playing, I would just want to lose with dignity and just play goats and lose with goats.